Envision residing in a world where place your content is not linked to the tenderness that you experience from other people, where the yearning looks the unanswered phone calls and the messages that come to mind for you. Don't specify your feeling. This is not a story. From antiquity nonetheless, a fact that you are able to survive in the modern day. Stoicism is a traditional philosophy that has endured the test of time, instructs us precisely that it gives us the ability to locate inner contentment and tranquility, whatever our external conditions. But how is this related to yearn for someone to be without you? Fortunately, in the field of affection and partnerships, we frequently discover ourselves yearning for the spotlight and the fondness of others, thinking that this outside confirmation is essential to our contentment. However, Stoicism presents a method that defies logic. By concentrating on personal development, promoting self-reliance on emotions, and valuing the here and now, instant, unattached, we unintentionally grow more appealing and paradoxically more likely to be overlooked. In the video for today, we delve deeply into the Stoic manner of thriving and devoted how, by accepting the tenets of selflessness, not only can we enhance our quality of life, but also change our connections in the most surprising manners. Accompany me while we explore ways to get them to miss you, not through engaging in video games or planning out each step you take. However, by turning into a symbol of independence and satisfaction, and your continued assistance is extremely important to us. A straightforward but powerful how you can assist is by clicking the subscribe button. It's a little act that makes a big difference. Please remain with us for the duration of the video, as each component has been expertly constructed to point you in the direction of a more satisfying and a stoic manner of life. In our pursuit of happiness and contentment, it's quite simple to let oneself get into the seeking outside confirmation. We frequently assess our own value by the responses, views, and focus we get from other people, particularly in the field of interpersonal connections. However, suppose I informed you there is a more capable, enduring route to contentment. The Stoic route instructs us to concentrate on what we can manage our ideas and deeds and responses while acknowledging what is outside of our control, which encompasses the emotions and other people's actions. This does not imply turning into unemotional or uncaring. Instead, it's about realizing the actual contentment and self-worth originate internally, not from the acceptance or focus. Consider it. When our happiness is dependent on being overlooked or something that someone wants, we cede our authority. We start acting impulsively to what they do or absence of it. This may result in an emotional roller coaster. Still, Stoicism provides us with the instruments to get off this bike by practicing virtues like wisdom, bravery, fairness, and restraint. We construct a robust and resilient, a joyful character in personal development and individual accomplishments. This doesn't imply we ought to withdraw or give up on others. Stoicism does not support for the purpose of emotional distance. However, in terms of emotional fortitude, it motivates us to develop wholesome, meaningful connections founded on respect for one another and comprehension, not on reliance or need. Additionally, by setting priorities, personal development, naturally we start to seem more fascinating and appealing to other people. Individuals attract other people who exude confidence, fervent in their goals, and happy with who they are. So cynically, the less attention we pay on causing someone to long for us, the greater chance that it will occur, since we're leading our best lives, most genuine lives. Therefore, let's begin to refocus now. From looking for approval to nourishing our internal environment, let's dedicate time to acquiring new abilities. investigating new pastimes, and strengthening our knowledge of our own identity and our principles. This path toward personal development is not just satisfying on its own, but also increases our exemplary and sure insignificant in other people's eyes. Recall the purpose of meekness is not to stifle our inclinations or contest our desire for relationships, however, to remind us that our contentment and value are independent of one another. On them, through securing our, within the Stoic precepts, we are able to live in harmony, contentment, and full autonomy. So let's adopt a Stoic attitude, concentrating on improving oneself and discovering happiness within. Since that's the location of truth, contentment resides. The central idea of Stoicism is the comprehension that our responses to outside occurrences are under our authority, even while the occurrences are not. This idea is tremendously empowering. That indicates that the key is with us, to our psychological condition, giving us a degree of liberating independence. Emotional toughness based on Stoicism isn't about self-numbing to emotions or distancing from the surroundings as an alternative. It's important to recognize our feelings, knowing them and choosing not to allow them to control our behavior. The Stoics advocated for concentration based on our controllable circumstances and giving up what we are unable to. This goes beyond a plan. Seeking inner tranquility, it serves as a guide to emotional toughness when we no longer permit outside variables similar to what other people have done or the demands of society to affect our health. We develop an awareness of autonomy that's equally meaningful and useful. This self-reliance does not imply seclusion. Conversely, it permits us to interact with the globe from a position of power and confidence. Think about the idea of emotional fortitude within the framework of relationships. Stoicism informs us about this. Even though we can adore and regard for other people, our contentment shouldn't depend on, in light of their existence or endorsement. This viewpoint gives us hope. To establish connections on the basis of reciprocal deference and sincere bonding, instead of reliance or a dread of being alone. Through encouraging mental toughness, we are able to experience profound, meaningful connections without becoming engrossed in them. Moreover, the emphasis on living in Stoicism in line with nature, embracing the flow and air of life, strengthens our capacity for emotional resilience. It serves as a reminder that things change. Is the soul constant? Considering that our capacity must adjust to this shift is an indicator of our power. This flexibility fails to arrive from a state of inaction nonetheless, from proactive participation with our principles, objectives, and the quest for morality. Thus, how do we foster this self-reliance as well as emotional fortitude? Self-awareness is the first step. Recurring introspection on our feelings and thoughts, our reactions to the obstacles of life. It entails cultivating thankfulness, concentrating on the here and now, and taking part in events that are consistent with our basic beliefs, and most importantly, we must confront it. Our impressions. Considering whether our sentimental reactions are grounded in the realities of the present or antiquated notions. When adopting Stoicism, we can handle life's storms, nor by looking for safety in other people. However, by serving as our beacon, this path to self-reliance, as well as emotional fortitude, is not the only one. It is enhanced by those wisdom who preceded us on this route. As we combine Stoic values into our daily existence, we discover that our ability to be happy, our resilience amidst hardship, and our capacity to continue harmonious partnerships, everyone experience exponential growth. The Stoic thinkers, such as Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, along with Epictetus, frequently discussed the significance of leading a life in line with one's inherent essence and the universe's nature. This fundamentally is about realizing what counts most in life and devoting ourselves to it in the eyes of the Stoics. Meaning is discovered not in achievements outside of yourself or the accumulating of riches and honors. However, in the development of virtue discernment and moral rectitude, it's about making a difference, for the benefit of all, participating in the community, and cultivating connections founded on deference and comprehension. Subsequently constructing a meaningful life includes a thorough examination within ourselves, posing challenging queries regarding who we are and our principles. It needs us to determine our moral principles and to abide by them even in the face of difficulties, or when it would be simpler to merely follow the current of cultural norms. Stoicism provides a waypoint. In this reflection, asking us to think about not only what we do, however, the motivations behind them. Are we behaving morally, or do we have a desire that drives us? Seeking confirmation from outside. Furthermore, Stoicism instructs us regarding the transience of outside factors and the significance of concentrating on what's still there within our authority. This viewpoint is freeing. It delivers us from the despotism of attempting to exert authority, the unpredictable, and focuses our efforts on where we can actually make an impact, our personal mindsets, decisions and reactions to our surroundings. Therefore, producing a fulfilling existence is less about our accomplishments and further details regarding our way of life and the frame of mind that we start our days. Adopting a grim outlook on life, furthermore, implies acknowledging that pain and failures are inevitable elements of the experience of humans. Rather of seeing them as barriers to our contentment, we can see them as prospects for development, tenacity, and a more profound comprehension of life's intricacies. This does not imply we look for pain, but rather that we discover significance in conquering it, gaining knowledge from it, and proceeding with a more resilient soul and a heart that is more sympathetic in actuality. Living a meaningful life entails little everyday behaviors as much as it does elaborate displays. It's present in the generosity we demonstrate to others, the honesty with which we carry out our work, and the fervor we apply to our endeavors. It's during the times we spend to consider our position in the cosmos, to value the natural world, taking part in self-care activities, and to promote relationships alongside others. These actions, based on Stoic philosophy, intertwine to create a woven masterpiece of a life well lived. Let's not forget the Stoic voyage in the direction of a fulfilling life is a collaborative effort. We travel this route together, encouraging one another via mutual understanding and encounters by utilizing Stoicism as our fulcrum. We arm ourselves with the means not only to overcome obstacles in life, yet to flourish in their midst, obtaining happiness, intent, and significance throughout each stage of the voyage. The Stoics realized from an early age that level of annoyance, fear, and even hopelessness originates from our insistence on managing the unpredictable. We frequently invest a great deal of energy attempting to influence the situation, results, and even others at our whim, just to discover how substantial it is past our grasp. This insight isn't intended to discourage us as an alternative. It's meant to set us free. Escape shackles you put on yourself that connect us to unrealistic goals. Accepting the teachings of Stoicism upon giving up the wish for command doesn't imply we turn apathetic watchers of our own existence. Instead, it's about concentrating our work in the arena where we are able to make an impact, our inner reality. It lies inside the domain of our senses, choices, and responses that we actually have influence. Here we are able to grow qualities such as endurance, comprehension, and tenacity. We can find serenity here. Giving over control, in line with the Stoic philosophy, entails a profound acceptance of the events that naturally unfold. It concerns comprehension. The distinction in between our initiatives and their results, realizing that even though we can try to sway the former, the latter frequently tumbles outside our immediate impact. This does not disprove the importance of work, it just positions it. From a more wholesome angle, when we line up our behaviors with our principles and separate from particular results, we give life a more complete effort. And truthfully, furthermore, this Stoic instruction invites us to watch. Every instant is a chance to put acceptance into practice and to gain knowledge. It challenges us to consider our deepest, deeply ingrained notions of control, accomplishment, and safety in doing so. Frequently, we find that where true strength is found not in attempting to exert authority over the outside world, however, in mastering our interior surroundings, practically speaking, relinquishing the need to be in control is to embrace adaptation and flexibility. It entails being receptive to the unexpected, acquiring the bravery to deal with uncertainty with serenity of mind and a heart that is open. It concerns learning how to react to the obstacles of life alongside grace, seeing them as chances for one's own development and self-discovery. As we take this into account, Stoic philosophy, into our daily lives, we discover that our bonds grow stronger, our stress levels fall, and our appreciation for the present moment grows. We begin to understand that control is not the key to happiness. Balance, acceptance, and inner harmony are letting go of our desire for control, as taught by Stoicism, is not about relinquishing our power, but rather about reclaiming it in its most potent form. It's a journey towards inner freedom, marked by a profound transformation in how we perceive and interact with the world. As we embark on this journey, we uncover a life marked not by the external validation of control, but by the internal validation of peace, resilience, and a deep, abiding sense of purpose. As we wrap up our exploration of Stoicism and its profound teachings, it's clear that this ancient philosophy offers more than just a set of principles. It presents a way of living deeply rooted in wisdom, resilience, and peace. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what truly matters, guiding us through the ebb and flow of life with grace and composure. The exercises and practices we've discussed are not just abstract concepts, but practical tools that can be woven into the fabric of our daily lives, transforming challenges into prospects for development and deeper understanding. When adopting Stoicism, we're not just learning to detach from the outcomes that are beyond our control. We're also learning to cherish and fully engage with the present moment, to appreciate the beauty and simplicity, and to promote relationships that are rich in meaning and virtue. It's about cultivating an inner sanctuary of peace that remains steadfast. No matter what storms may rage outside, this journey towards Stoic living doesn't promise a life free from trouble or pain as an alternative. It promises something far more valuable: the strength to face adversity with courage, the wisdom to choose actions aligned with virtue, and the serenity to accept what we cannot change. It teaches us that while we may not have control over the external world, we have the power to control our perceptions, choices, and responses. As we incorporate Stoic principles into our lives, we find that our perspective on happiness, success, and fulfillment begins to shift. We discover that true contentment comes not from external accolades or possessions, but from living in accordance with our deepest values and virtues. And in this discovery lies the key to a life of profound meaning and joy. Thank you for joining me in this journey at Stoic Journal, where ancient wisdom meets modern living. Let's continue to explore and grow together for more insights. I invite you to watch one of the suggested videos on the screen. Until next time, remember, the journey inward is the most significant journey of all.